Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Raiken Profit, coming to you from my vehicle, and it's cold, so I got the hoodie on. I want to get right to the point. I'm going to share with you guys 7 mistakes to avoid if you're going to flip items from eBay to Amazon. If you've been following my journey, then you know a little over a year ago, got into a car accident, decided to switch from RA and traditional thrifting to OA, and since then I've been buying about 95% plus of my items from ebay.com and then selling them on amazon.com. I just had a record day in sales yesterday. I posted on my Instagram at Raiken Profit, so you can follow my journey there. Did 36,000, so super close to hitting that goal of 40,000 a month. Margins are close to 30%, so should actually do over 10K profit this month. And if you're not following me on Instagram, again, follow me, because I break down my income, expenses, everything, what I pay my VAs, so you can follow along. But I was just on a coaching call helping my buddy, big shout out to Angelo, to get started flipping from eBay to Amazon. He's a bookseller, and I wanted to cover seven things that I had mentioned to him, and I don't know if I mentioned every single one, but there's at least 3 big ones I'm going to share with you that you really need to make sure you avoid. This is my sign for you better be sure. You better be sure not to do these things, because there are quite a couple people who join my masterclass or people I coach who jump into eBay to Amazon flipping way too quick before they have experience, which I'll talk about, and they end up losing money. So let's just get right into it. Number 1, the biggest mistake you could make is not using Keepa. You have to use Keepa. This isn't selling books where you could just rely on the buy box price, or maybe you're only paying a couple dollars for an item. Many of the items that I pick up are 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks. And, on our coaching call, Angelo, if you're watching, we found a DVD that was, that we were able to pick up for $47.99 that was selling for 91 bucks. And it was a great item. It was, because it was turning over. There were very few FBA sellers. We looked at Keepa, we were able to see the buy box, and we were able to see trends from the past up until now. So the point I'm trying to make is you need to use Keepa to not only see what's been going on over the last 30 days with the buy box price, because 85% of sales are going to come through that buy box, but you also want to know the history of that item. Where's this item been priced at? Like, what was the buy box winning at 6 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago? Was Amazon on the listing recently? Did they recently jump off? Is the buy box suppressed? Is there a strong buy box? Is it steady? This is the biggest mistake people make, because you buy an item that maybe the buy box is at $91, it doesn't mean you're going to get that. Especially in Q4, it's taking quite a bit of time for items to get checked in. So maybe you're buying it at $50 and you're like, I'm going to make 30% ROI or whatever, but by the time it gets checked in, the price is down to 77. You're like, what the heck? Like, come on, Steve. And it's like, listen, you've got to look at Keepa to see the trends of the past, because a lot of times the past will define the future. And there are times where prices could tank, but by using Keepa, you can see all different types of things: buy box statistics, price changes, used offers, new offers, is there an increase in competitors, so on and so forth. So that's number 1. Number 2, if you're going to be selling video games, or especially like DVDs and stuff like that, you got to be careful when it comes to counterfeit items, okay? Counterfeit items are, abundant on eBay. And a lot of these counterfeits, to be perfectly transparent, they're hard to tell if they're real or not, especially if you're selling a new one. If you don't have 2 of them, one real and one fake, right next to each other, a lot of times you can't even tell the difference. Now, there are some sure tell signs of a fake item if it's packaged poorly, or it's really flimsy, or the color grading is off, or the alignment of the text is off, or maybe you just have experience with it and just something looks different, the way it looks or feels, or the text, or it's like faded, something's off. You'll be able to tell, but a lot of times you can't really tell. So what do? I stay away from really popular DVDs. I don't even touch DVDs less than 10,000 rank. And even if it's like 20,000, I'll double check, and I'll go see, are there multiple quantities being sold on eBay? Have multiple quantities been sold? I'll check the feedback on Amazon. And if I see any of those keywords like counterfeit or fake, blah, 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 I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole. Number 3, if you have a new account and you're brand new, well, I'll just jump to number 4 and then I'll go back to 3. Don't start doing eBay to Amazon flips, and don't start doing OA before you start selling books or thrifting or just doing traditional methods. Unless you have previous business experience or e-commerce experience, you could jump ahead to OA, but the average person is going to lose money jumping into eBay to Amazon or jumping into any traditional OA method or wholesale without experience. There's just so much to know. So I wouldn't jump into this method if you're brand spanking new. If you've never sold an item before, go through my free 5-day workshop, RaikenProfit.com/workshop, or start looking up free YouTube videos, join my Facebook group, so on and so forth. Those are free and you can get started on a budget. You're not gonna have to spend as much money on items. Yeah, you're gonna have to hustle your you-know-what off to go to thrift stores and garage sales and auctions and so on and so forth. But don't start with OA. I think that's the stupidest thing that people could do unless you have experience previously with like e-commerce. And then number 3, I'm jumping backwards. Don't sell new condition if you're a beginner. You know, I was talking to Angelo and, you know, big shout out again to my man. He had an account that was older. He's been doing this for 5+ years. That's fine to get into new. Like, of course, there's still a risk of, you know, at scale of you could be getting IP complaints or Amazon could be asking for invoices, but it very rarely happens. It could, right? It could happen. There's risks with all businesses. So I'm not saying it won't happen to you, and I'm not saying it won't happen to me, maybe eventually. But, you know, I have friends of mine who do 6 figures per month and they have 10, 15, 20 on their account, but their accounts are old and they're fine. Not to say you should try to get IP complaints or counterfeits, or not to say that you're not selling millions of dollars and then all of a sudden you get one and you get kicked off. Like, you don't know what's going to happen. There's risks involved. Don't let anybody BS you and say, oh, there's no risk in any business, just do this. There's risks with every business. And there's certainly risks with this, with eBay to Amazon not having invoices. But I would say if you're new, start used. Start with books, start selling used items, build your account up. And over time, you could switch over to new and start to slowly build that up. I found that that's probably the best way to go about it. Number 5, a big mistake a lot of people make is they compete against Amazon. They start doing eBay to Amazon flips. They start buying these really popular items and Amazon's on the listing and they don't know why the item's not selling because the rank's at like 22,000 and it's selling 18 a month and they're like, I don't get it. I'm the lowest price. It's because Amazon's not sharing the buy box. Amazon's not your friend. A lot of people think Amazon's your friend. Amazon could care less if you're on the side of the road dying and all you need is a hand to just get lifted. They ain't gonna lift you up. They're gonna let you die in the road with the dogs. You end up in the sewer system. No, but in all seriousness, like, they're not your friend. They will steal the buy box from you. They will steal your sales. If you launch a private label product that's doing well, they'll steal your product too and launch it under their brand, which I don't know if they're doing that anymore. I think didn't they stop doing Amazon Basics? But anyways, all jokes aside, like, it's half jokes and half reality. Like, sometimes Amazon will share the buy box and other times they won't. That's why you need to learn Keepa. You have to go into data, you have to go into buy box statistics, and you have to learn if they're sharing the buy box or not. You know, if they're taking it 98, 99% of the time, it could be because no one else has been on the listing. But if there's other people on the listing and there's been a history of other sellers on the listing and they're not even getting the buy box, I would just stay away from that as a beginner. Number 6, buying items that are super profitable, which there's millions of them that you can buy from eBay to Amazon. And if you're in the masterclass and you've gone through my method, like, you know, it's literally the easiest thing to source items. But you have to be able to source items that not only are profitable, but also have, you know, a good sell-through rate, that are selling on a regular basis, where the number of sellers isn't going up and the price isn't taking and it's moving consistently and you could win the buy box. So for new eBay to Amazon flippers who are obviously have Amazon experience, but when you get into this, it's a different game. You're spending more money on items. So you want to really make sure that your items are flipping, because what's going to happen to you if you don't is what happened to me when I was doing this. I had massive cash flow issues, you know, 7-8 months ago. Like, it wasn't massive, but like, you know, I wasn't even like, I was going negative and like I wasn't paying myself, and I was like, what is going on? And it's normal not to pay yourself in the beginning because you're investing in building your inventory, right? But I was going negative and I was like, what's going on here? Like, I'm buying items that are super profitable. They were too long tail. And I think it's okay to have 10 to 20% of your inventory long tail. But once your inventory becomes 50 to 60% long tail, especially in today's market with restock limits, and we're in Q4, like, you're just going to hit massive restock limit issues, and you might even go negative, and you might not even be able to send anything in, which sucks. And then last but not least is overpaying for items. This is one of the biggest mistakes as well, because it sucks right now to be an eBay seller for the most part, because certain items and categories, and depending on if you're listing on a regular basis, items are just not selling as fast as they used to on eBay. I don't know if it's their updates and I don't even sell on eBay right now, like a couple items here and there. So I'm just talking from like what my friends are saying, but it's a lot harder now to sell items, it seems like. And the reason I'm sharing this is not to trash eBay. I still love eBay. I think it's a great opportunity, and there's a lot of items you could sell on eBay that you can't sell on Amazon. But the point I'm trying to make is eBay sellers are willing to negotiate deals. And I really think over these next couple of years, it's going to be one of the best opportunities to flip from eBay to Amazon, because people are going to have a tough time selling their stuff on eBay. And I think they're going to start giving items away at really discounted rates. And I think the market is moving more towards a lot of these items, especially media items. It seems like customers are moving to Amazon. They're getting away from eBay. And I can't tell you how many items I pick up for 20 bucks on eBay and sell them for 50, 60 on Amazon all day long. Thousands. Literally, if I was to show you my sales, you'd be like, what the heck? This makes no sense. I know it makes no sense, but it's just, I think it's the brand, it's the trust, it's the free 2-day shipping, it's the Prime. So long story short, don't buy an item that has like a 40% ROI and you haven't even tried to negotiate or looked at other sellers or like sent the best offer. I'm not telling you to lowball eBay sellers, because I'm an eBay seller. Like, I don't like getting lowballed, but make a fair offer, you know, try to get the best deal possible, because there are risks involved selling on Amazon. There's returns. You could have your items become stranded, high pricing errors. Sometimes the price could tank, or, you know, there's just a million things. You know what I'm talking about. So there's no need to get into a product just because like, oh my God, I got to buy it because there's nothing else out there. This ain't the thrift store. There's thousands of items. And, you know, I have over 700 people who join my masterclass, and we have over 400 plus in the Facebook group. Not everybody joined it. And it's crazy to think how many items students are purchasing in the different categories. It's endless, literally endless. I don't know if this opportunity is going to be here in 5+ years as easy it is now, but these next couple of years, it's the craziest opportunity to flip from eBay to Amazon. And you know how it is with the market. The market's inefficient. It always becomes more efficient over time, similar to like books. Back when I started flipping books in 2014, 2015, I could leave a thrift store with 60 items. Now I leave with like 5 or 10 sometimes. Like, I hit jackpots from time to time, but it's harder. And I think the same thing is like kind of happening now with the eBay to Amazon. Super easy. It's like the freaking easiest thing that you could ever do once you learn how to do it the right way. But over time, it will get harder with more competition. But the people in 2014 and 2015 that said, oh my God, you're creating content about books and I'm not gonna be able to find a book. Like, okay, you were wrong. I'll call you out on that. But you weren't wrong about the fact that like it does become more saturated and more challenging over time. And that's just how the market works. If there's money to be made, more and more people come in. So I would take advantage of this now. And I would start learning about it, whether you get my help or you start learning on your own. But yeah, if you're struggling to find inventory, you're sick and tired of driving all around for inventory or going to garage sales and thrift stores, and maybe you're ungated in CDs or DVDs, or you're flipping books or video games or board games, check out my masterclass. I'm telling you guys right now, out of any course or product I've ever put out, this is the best one I've created, and this is the one that's getting people the most results right now. So definitely check it out. I'll put a link down below. And I think I'm going to extend my Black Friday sale for a couple of days. Today's Cyber Monday, so I'm going to expand it or extend it for a couple more days, since I didn't really share it with you guys, because I don't want to make you guys feel left out. So I'll put a $50 off coupon code down below, and I'm literally only going to leave this open for 48 hours. I'm going to close it off officially, because my word means everything, and I don't want people saying, oh, you just leave it open forever. That's not what I do. I want to help some people, get you guys in, get you results. So if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Leave a comment, send me a DM on Instagram. I do my best to respond to everybody. And with that being said, much love, and I'll update you when I hit 40K a month. Stay posted on my Instagram, guys. I'm freaking going for it. Much love.